Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rosano, and this is another episode of the world famous, The University Love, the best podcast in 1, 2, 3 galaxies. But ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves. And we're coming to you live today. Today is, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I'd like to apologize because I didn't realize it's right now I'm recording this early Wednesday morning. Okay? What happened? Time got a hold to me. Time got a hold, But we will do a couple extra episodes this week. Not a big deal. And so we move forward. But how have you been? How have you been? Me lately, last couple of days, the wife has put me to work. We have family coming to visit, so it's been a lot of picking up. It's been a lot of cleaning. It's been a lot of getting the tree out, blah 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 blah. All that kind of stuff. Me myself, I'm not that into holidays, but my wife is, so it is what it is. You sort of, I don't mind it, per se. And now, especially that we have the baby, it's like, all right, I'll go along. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind it. It's not that bad. It's if I was just still a single man, I would even I'd just be like, it's another day. But it's kind of cute when you have a wife, and especially my wife, because she can cook, so that's a good excuse. The holidays are a good excuse for her to whip out the culinary skills and make all kinds of things. So I have no complaints about that. But today, so hopefully for you, you enjoy these times as well. And the one thing that I don't understand about people, like me, I don't really drink. I might drink 1 or 2 beers a year, maybe, if that. And people like to get real spicy around the holiday season for some reason. And I don't know, it's strange. It's like, oh, it's Christmas. I gotta be around my family. Let me get sloppy drunk. There you go. That's the way to be. But I enjoy all my family, and me myself, I always think you can, once you get a certain age, you really make your own family. It's not about it's not about the people you were born into. It's not about the people that you are related to. You have relatives and you have family. And there's a big difference. And for you, if you struggle with seeing your family, or you get all these tics or whatever, it's not a big deal. And it's if it's that big a deal, then I would just avoid it. Me personally, I wouldn't even entertain it. After a while, it's like, all right. Like, I joke around. My wife says that. Like, me and my brother, we have of course we have a brother. I don't know if you don't have I'm the youngest. Me and my brother, I'm the youngest child. So me and my brother, we have these. We have a relationship. I love my brother to death. Don't get me wrong, and he loves me to pieces. But I'm always giving him a hard time. Why? Because hey man, the first 18 years of my life, he gave me the business. Okay. And some of it was bad, but some of it was good. He taught me a few things that I chuckle about now. But a lot of times it was he was tough on me, but in a loving kind of way. Now that I'm older and I'm more than my brother. My brother we have reverse roles. My brother used to be real kind of like more aggressive, and I'm not the most aggressive person, but I speak my piece and everything like that. And my brother, he's more laid back, The only time that my brother takes charge is if we're at a restaurant and I'm like, hey man, they messed up my hamburger. He always says, I'll go talk to him about that. And I'm like, thank you, I appreciate it. If I'm with him. If I'm not with him, I do it myself. But I always like the way he does it because it's very direct and to the point. And it makes me laugh all the time. And my brother, one thing about my brother, have you ever been with somebody and they talk at the drive-through window and they talk real loud, and if the people like, welcome to McDonald's, and my brother's like, I don't want to scream in your ear, but you get it's like a guy with a megaphone basically at the drive-through. That's my brother, and it's very funny, and I love my brother to death. But my wife says I give my brother a hard time all the time, but I'm like, hey, you wasn't around when he was kicking me in my back. My brother kicked me in my back so hard one time my back was hurting for like 3 weeks. I said, you wasn't around for that. My brother used to give me the business, be laughing all the time at me. Like, come on, man, nerd alert every 5 minutes with this guy, So now that I give him a hard time, I'm like, hey, he be alright. But he knows I love him. But if you have problems with your family, like my brother, of course, we don't have any problems. But if you have problems with your relatives, find a new family. It's you don't have to. You don't have to be tied to anything. That's one thing about life that you have to realize is you're never tied down by anything. There's no obligation that you really have to adhere to. You know how people are like, oh, I gotta go do this because it's like, what? Who said you got to do that? You can create your own traditions. You can make it your own rules. You can start your own family. I mean, that's the whole point. Like me and my wife, we're gonna start traditions with me, her, and the baby. It's not gonna be, oh, my family used to do this or her family used to do that. No, it's what do we want to do? What rules do we want to make? And we're gonna make those rules, and we're gonna live by that. And that's just how that goes, So don't worry about getting all nervous or whatever. If you don't want to be around your family, don't be around them. Then your relatives. But if you have family, it's a big difference. And if you don't know the difference, then you'll learn. If you're young, you'll learn. Like I have a boatload of relatives, and it's not. My dad had 16 brothers and sisters. My mom had like 15, I think. So I have 30 aunts and uncles, and they all have kids. Well, most of them have kids that they claim, and so I have a boatload of cousins, and that's what I'm used to. My daughter, I chuckle down and tell my wife, I go, she is the complete opposite of what we gonna have, because we live down here in Georgia, and my wife, she has a couple of relatives that live around there, but we don't see them that often. And I have a cousin, but she stays like an hour and 15 minutes away, and when you're working and traffic and everything like that, she might as well stay 5 hours away. I would like to see her more, but the way my life is set up, and we had to take care of my wife's mom and everything like that. You don't get to see her, so it's like me, my wife, and the baby. We're off on the island, so I'm like, you're gonna meet some friends, and they're gonna be your family more than the people that I grew up with. She's gonna get to know these people, but it's not gonna be like you can walk down the street. Like, I grew up in a town where everybody, if you wasn't family, you might as well be family. So we all knew each other. We all knew each other's parents. We knew everything about everybody. It was like, if somebody saw you walking down the street doing some shenanigans, then somebody would be like, whoop whoop, no, I know you not. And you'd be like, huh? And they be like, well, I'm going to tell your mama when I see you, huh? And you're like, don't tell my mama. Or some would even, if they knew your parents well enough, they'd whip out the old belt or whip out the old whatever and be like, hey, bring your bleep 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 over here. and I got something for you. You'd be like, huh? Because I had my auntie, she worked at the school. It's funny. My auntie, she started working at the school. I say, people say aunt, I say my auntie. I'm from the country, so you have to forgive me. But she used to work at the school, and so whenever you had to be on your best behavior, because she would see you and she give you the look, and it's like, hey Auntie, and she was like, how you doing, baby? I'm doing good, Auntie. I ain't doing that. And I mean, one time I got in trouble once when I was in school, and I was in junior high, and she laughed about it, and she's like, what are you doing over here sitting in the corner? And I'm like, hey, Annie, I'm in trouble. I got in trouble for some shenanigans, and so I ain't do nothing. And my auntie was like, boy. She said, you all right? She said, you ain't doing that. It ain't too bad. It was something about, because we had to share a locker. Me and this guy, he was lazy, and I got sick of. I'm like, I'm not gonna keep cleaning this locker just because this joker don't want to clean out the locker, And so it happened, and the locker was dirty for like 3 days or whatever, and so they was like, okay, you're gonna get detention for 3 days, and I'm like, all right, whatever, but But I just wanted to say, it's a big difference between relatives and family, and I grew up with a family, and even though they're annoying, don't get me wrong, but I love them to death. I still love all my family, from my mom's side of the family to dad's side of the family. I love everybody. I don't get to see them as often as I would like, but they're very lovable people, very annoying at the same time, but that's family. So that's one thing about family that's different than relatives. Relatives, you can't piss them off too much, and they get offended. But your family, I can tell my brother, yeah, why don't you go piss up a rope or something, and he'll be like, whatever. He just talking again, and we'll just go on about our business. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to discuss not getting angry about not getting frustrated about your business. You have slow times. Things are not taking off the way you want them to. Things are not going as fast as you want them to. Don't get frustrated. Don't get annoyed. Just take a deep breath, relax. If there's a week where you take a deep breath and you go, you know what, take a few days off, it's this week. You know why? It's because sometimes, in order for you to get clarity, sometimes you got to step away from the thing that you are doing, and it can help. And I'll give you an example. I don't know if I told you before, but one time I said, you know what, I'm going to take a break from this online marketing stuff, because this online entrepreneur stuff, because it was getting kind of frustrating. And I was like, yeah, and I said, you know what, I'm going to take now you don't have to be this extreme, but I took a month off. I said, I'm taking a month off, and a month turned into about 5 months, but that's neither here nor there. So a month turned into 5 months, but for me, now this is for me, it's one of the best decisions I ever made. You know why? Because in those 5 months, I took it easy. I didn't think about, online. I didn't think about affiliate marketing. I didn't think about, making this kind of money, that kind of money, yada, yada, yada. I just took a deep breath. I relaxed. I watched TV. I took notes. I wrote stuff down, thought about things I was going to do once I got back into it. I knew I was going to get back into it. It wasn't a matter of, quitting. It was just a matter of, hey, I need a break, because I had been going at it for a year and a half, 2 years, and it was going good, but it wasn't, because before now, I would always think, I had the microwave mentality. I would think, why am I not making $20,000 right now in a month, and I would be doing stuff for like 3 weeks, and it's like, it doesn't quite work like that. You have to build up to that stuff, You can't make $20,000 if you're not making $100. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be consistent. And so in my mind, I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I kept trying to go for the grand slam, and instead, all you need to do is, you know, and of course, in baseball, a single can bring a man in, you know. Singles, doubles, triples, RBIs, walks, anything you can do to get people on base and to score, you can do. And so you don't need the grand slam all the time. You don't need the you don't need the home run all the time. I mean, how often do people hit grand slams? You know, not very often. So I had to get out of that mentality. Had to get into, all right, let's take it one step at a time. Let's take it one day at a time. Let's learn to enjoy the journey, enjoy the process. And, you know, I had to learn that in those 5 months that I took off. But if you are feeling frustrated, if you are feeling annoyed, if you're feeling angry, then I say this week you should just relax. Take this week off. You know, I'm not saying take 5 months off. I'm not saying take a whole month off. You know, take a week off. Step back. Say, hey, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? You know, the one thing you are doing right, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what level you're at. The one thing that you are doing right is you are getting started. Okay, like that's the most important thing that you can do. It's not about oh, you know, I need this, I need that. You know, no. You are getting started. You are in the game. You know, being in the game is more important than knowing everything. Being in the game is more important than sitting around criticizing everybody. You're in the game. You know, you're here to play. You're here to win. You're here to stay. You know, that's important. And so, if you have to take a week off, take this week off. Relax. Watch movies. You know, watch TV. Talk to people. And just think about, you know, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? What could I be doing to do better? We all have to self-evaluate ourselves sometimes, you know? Like, you don't need a bunch of people to tell you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. After a while, you know what you're doing right. You know what you're doing wrong. You know the things that you need to be doing. You know what you're going to improve on, okay? And sometimes you just need to take a step back. But don't get angry about it. Don't get frustrated. Don't get upset. It's just a part of the process. It's a part of the journey, you know. Once you get to a level of, hey man, this machine ain't stopping, then you could take off, but the money will still be flowing in. You know, right now the money might not be flowing in as much as you want, and that's okay too. You know, it's really the less you focus on the money, the more you focus on what you need to do. The money will be there. The money's not going anywhere. The money will come to you. Okay, you will get the money. You just have to put in the work, put in the effort. And so this week is a great time to reflect. This is a great time to take a few days off. This is a great time to say, you know, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Write stuff down. You know, figure out the strategy you want to do. Figure out things you want to do, and don't get frustrated. Don't lose your cool. Don't lose your head. All right, and everything will be all right. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. We will be back tomorrow with all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. And of course, we're gonna have to drop a couple bonus episodes since we missed out on Monday and Tuesday. I didn't realize Tuesday, but we'll drop a couple bonus episodes during this holiday season. But until tomorrow, my name is Tony Rizzano. Thank you for listening. And as always, everybody, peace.